Hello, folks, and welcome to tonight's broadcast brought to you by the West Fine Arts Department, or WFAD.
WFAD, coming to you from the music room at Plymouth, MN.
And by our sponsor, Mills Photoshop, for all of your holiday needs. Now, here it is, another 5-minute mystery. See if you can solve the case before the end of this program.
Well, Alice, one more block and you'll behold the Brooks household.
2 whole years, Jim. It just doesn't seem possible it's been so long. You and Dorothy married and with a place of your own?
It's true, all right. Only too bad you haven't taken advantage of the old Brooks hospitality sooner.
Well, I'm here now, and I intend on having a perfectly wonderful time.
Now, here we are.
Oh, what a charming place this is.
Dorothy's probably on pins and needles waiting for me to get you here. Darling, it's Jim. Here's Alice.
Jim, look!
What? Where?
They're on the living room floor. It's Dorothy, dead.
Mr. Brooks, I'm afraid you and Miss Manning will have to submit to some routine questions.
I'll be happy to help in any way I can, Inspector.
Thank you, Miss Manning. Now, Mr. Brooks, while we're waiting for some information I phoned for, I want you to tell me exactly what happened this morning.
Well, there's not much to tell. Both my wife and I are quite excited, expecting Alice, that is, Miss Manning here, to visit us from Chicago. I was to wait until she called me at the office.
And you were there all morning?
Yes, until Miss Manning's train arrived and we came out here.
I had written Mrs. Brooks to tell her that I would call Jim at the office as soon as I arrived. The train was an hour late. Maybe if it had been here earlier, it may have prevented this.
Well, that remains to be seen. Apparently, Mrs. Brooks was sitting here in this chair, putting red polish on her fingernails when she was shot from behind. The polish had spilled all over the carpet, and she was still holding the tiny brush in her hand. She must have recognized her attacker, and since she did not die instantly, she must have printed these 3 initials here on the floor with the polish. D-O-C.
D-O-C? I wish we could tell whose initials she was trying to reveal.
You're sure you don't know anyone whose name would fit this?
Positive. I can't.
Oh!
Yes, Miss Manning? Can you think of someone with those initials?
Well, D-O-C spells Doc, and it's Mr. Brooks's nickname.
I haven't been called Doc for over 2 years. It was a nickname I picked up in school. My wife didn't like the name and I never used it. No one in New York even knows me by Doc. You've got to believe me, Inspector. It's the truth.
Well, that we'll see. Just a minute. Hello?
Hey, Brooks, it's Grady.
Yes. Grady?
Yeah, I got that info you're looking for.
Yes.
The train was on time.
I see.
Yep, made it on time.
Well, it's sold up anyway, thanks.
No problem.
Well, you both will be happy to know our little murder is solved.
Oh, then it wasn't Doc after all?
No, Miss Manning, it wasn't Doc. I'm arresting you, Miss Manning, for the murder of Dorothy Brooks.
Why did the inspector arrest Miss Manning for the murder of Mrs. Brooks? In a moment, we'll hear. But first, this.
Olivia,
Yes?
Olivia, this is your conscience.
My conscience? Leave me alone.
It's that time of year again. It's time for you to...
Time for me to what? Study for A-Push? Clean the toilet?
No, it's Christmas time. Time for you to...
Oh, what time to sing Christmas carols, wrap presents, build
Would
a
you
snow-
just let me do the talking?
Gosh, okay, go ahead.
It's time to get your family together for Christmas pictures. And right now you can get 2 8x10s and 24 wallets at Mills Photo House for only $29.
Are you sure this is my conscience? I don't even like having my picture taken.
Well, of course it is.
I am your conscience, reminding you to...
Wait a minute. This is Chris from Mills Photo House up the road. I know your voice.
No, this is your conscience. Do not question your conscience.
Well, whoever you are, I know a good deal when I hear one. I'll call Mills Photo House right now and make my holiday photo appointment.
Great, I can schedule that for you right now.
Wait a minute. I thought you were my conscience.
Mills Photo House for all your holiday photography needs. Call 334-9595 today.
And now, back to our story.
How dare you arrest me? I was still on the train.
Your train wasn't late, Miss Manning. That phone call just verified the fact. You came out here, murdered Mrs. Brooks, returned to the station, and called Mr. Brooks to pick you up. That wasn't what really gave you away, though, Miss Manning. Too bad you didn't know Mr. Brooks was no longer called Doc when you printed those letters on the carpet. The next time you leave a name as a clue to throw suspicion, you better get that name right. But of course, there won't be a next time, will there, Miss Manning?
Tonight's mystery featured Evan Arps as Jim, Brenna Antonson as Alice, Georgia Fari as a police officer, and yours truly, Jody Rowe, as the announcer. Sound effects artists included Allison DeRozier and Abby Warsko. Our show is directed by Mrs. Lisa Denninger. Our stage manager was Sophia Lee, and our audio team featured Ella Obrasky, William Rolfe, and Mr. Dave Denninger. Join us again next time for WFAD's production of Alfred Hitchcock's The 39 Steps.
I remember the last film my cast had together before COVID shut us down. We were dancing and singing and...
Will I ever be able to wear my choir robe again?
Sing without a mask? Go to Choral Fest?
Do you remember our Christmas concert last year? We could play sitting next to each other and share on our music stands.
There was no need for our instruments to wear masks.
What would you do if there was a child right in front of you, sitting all alone, crying in pain for missing out on concerts and stage productions, near death from not being able to perform for a live audience? What if there was a way to save the dreams of these students? Please text to give $5, $10, anything will do, to WFAD 763-292-4550. Side effects from giving to WFAD include euphoria, warming of the heart, coloring of the cheeks, melodies, and monologues seeping into the ears. If these symptoms should occur, text to give again.
WFAD, coming to you from the music room at Plymouth.